Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Heart Artistry Podcast. I am excited for this episode today because we're going to be talking about a very specific kind of content. I don't always see people teaching this very specific type of content, at least in the way that I am going to be breaking it down for you today. And this has not only shifted the way that my clients buy from me. Looking back, when I've invested high ticket to learn from my mentors, this is the biggest thing that I saw in their content that made me move. And when I can trace my best clients that have come in through my world, this is what they say they saw in my content as well. So this is the kind of content that is going to have clients sprinting into your offers without needing a sales call, without needing to go back and forth with you in the DMs or asking tons and tons of questions, because they're going to feel this thing in your content. Now, before I break this down, I want to preface that it goes without saying, but I'm going to break it down anyway. This has to come with a couple of caveats. You have to be speaking to your most aligned clients. This is not going to be just speaking to everybody. This only works when you're speaking to your best clients. And this only works when you're in full conviction of your offer, yourself, your client filter and lens, the way you see your clients, and what you really believe about your work and your identity. That's what's going to be what fuels the fire, and it is going to make the biggest impact in any content you create. It doesn't matter if you have the most incredible content in the world or you're saying, quote unquote, the best things. You have to have the conviction, the identity to back that up. Okay. So this is what I'm teaching right now in the program that I'm running, which is Content and Cash Codes. Content and Cash Codes is my content program. We're diving into the practical, the energetics that hold everything together before, during, and after. Content and Cash Codes is really where content comes to life, not just what you're saying, but how you're saying it, why you're saying it, what it's connected to, who you're being. This is an incredible program that I've spent so much time in the back end building out. We're still in the middle of teaching it live. If you jump in afterwards or during the middle, you will get access to all of the recordings. And this is a really, really, really incredible program. I am completely obsessed with it. It is a true masterpiece, and it really focuses on the codes that you hold in your content around cash, around clients, around receiving, as well as the kind of content that really makes a difference, that makes your clients move on social media. So if you enjoy this episode and you've been enjoying these recent episodes on content, trust me, Content and Cash Codes is going to be a much, much, much deeper dive into what you get, what you're getting here, right? It's going to be a much deeper dive, and we are going to go so much deeper into these topics, into these themes inside Content and Cash Codes. So if you're feeling aligned to joining us, the link will be in the show notes at the very top of the show notes. So you can click through. If you have any questions, feel free to always send me a DM. So the kind of content that will have your clients sprinting into your offers is current level and next level awareness content. Now, let me break down what I mean by this. This is the ability to show your client that you not only understand where they are, you don't see that as permanent. Now, here's what I mean. When a client comes to me and they're telling me their current situation, whether they want to shift out of it, whether they're so grateful for it and they want to call in more, whatever it is they're experiencing, they see in my content, they see through my my reaction and connection with them, that they have the ability to shift into higher and higher levels, and they have a level of trust in me that I will help get them there based on what I'm saying, how I'm talking about it, as well as my own experience. So essentially what's happening is in your content, all right, so if you're thinking about your best client, your best person, in your content, you're thinking about them, and they're on the receiving end, and they're seeing your content, and they're going, this person really understands where I'm at. This person not only understands where I'm at, but they also understand where I'm going, why I want to go there, and how to get me there. So let's take one of my offers, my mastermind, which I've been running for several years, into account. So my mastermind is specifically for visionary, spirit-led entrepreneurs, mainly women of color who are extremely intuitive. They are so connected to their work. Like, their work is their passion. They are either full-time in their business or they desire to be within the year. And they are growing to six figures or multi-six figures. They're all in about that. That's not even a question. It's like, yep, I'm here to eventually make millions. Like, that's their end goal. They love their work. They also value freedom. They also value flexibility and options. They're not just here to be working 24/7. They love their work. And so they do end up putting a lot of time and effort into their business and investment into their business because it's a part of who they are. And at the same time, they also live a very full life. They love having the spaciousness. They love having time freedom throughout their day. So one of the ways in which I talk about my mastermind for this very specific type of person, right, is I might say something like, so you're right now making about $50,000, $60,000 a year. You have mastered one-on-ones and you're ready to shift into group programs or one-to-many programs. So that might be a course, that might be a membership, that might be masterminds. Like, we'll build that product suite out together. But that's the direction in which you want to go. You want people to jump into your groups. You want to be able to have groups that can hold lots and lots of people at higher ticket pricing, as well as have more of a tiered business model, meaning you might have something that's on the lower end, something on the middle end, and then some high ticket offers so you can serve different people at different price points. And you want them to come in through your content. Jumping into the mastermind, we are going to be able to dive into so much close proximity support where I'm going to be able to help you build this out. And ultimately, I know that you want to build a multi-six figure to seven-figure business where you live a very full life. You're able to be there with your kids, your loved ones. You have freedom and flexibility in your life, and you're making money, so much money, more money than you know what to do with. And you want to do it your own way. You don't want to follow something that's like a plug and play. You want to do it your own way. This is what we do together in the mastermind. So in that very short kind of sum up, right, of the mastermind, you can tell that I'm speaking to a specific person. I know where they're at. I know kind of the money that they're making and where they want to expand into. Most people who jump into the mastermind are making like halfway to six figures or have surpassed six figures, and where they want to go is they want to double it. They want to triple it. Like, they're ready for the 10x, right? And they're ready to expand exponentially. Like, they're ready for that. They're excited for that. They want that. They desire that. And so me speaking to that and me understanding where they are and where they want to go and understanding how they want to get there, that's very clear. Now, if someone listened to this and they're like, actually, I just want to like sell my business. I want it to be super passive. I don't want to do anything in it. I just kind of see it as a job. Like, they wouldn't resonate with my work. And I likely would not be the best coach for them. Like, I wouldn't be the best mentor for someone who just wants to like have a super hands-off approach, eventually sell the company. Like, I'm talking to people who love what they do. They want to be coaching. They want to be in it. They want to be responding. They're ready to build out a team. Like, they want to be involved. This is their brand. This is their company. They love it. They want to be a piece of all this. They don't want to just hire tons of people to delegate everything to, right? There's obviously going to be team involved, but they love this work. They love what they do. They want to be the main coach. They want to be the main person delivering this work, and that's important to them, right? So that's the person I'm speaking to, and the methods in which we're doing that is expanding into one-to-many group offers, whether that's a course, a membership, whatever feels aligned to them. So if someone wanted to build a seven-figure business, but they didn't want to do it through a course, a membership, digital offers, one-on-one work, like if they wanted to do it in a completely different way, then my mastermind probably wouldn't be the best fit for them. So, but for the person who's like, yes, oh my gosh, yes, it's been on my heart to launch a mastermind, and I'm ready for multi six figures. I want people to be coming in. I want to charge higher ticket. Like, everything I'm saying, they're going, yes, yes, yes. Oh my gosh, that's me. Right? That creates a level of like, okay, this person not only sees me, but they see me for where I'm going to go. So what your clients are envisioning at this point is like, if I get on a call with this person, is this person going to understand what I want to create? Is this person going to be in on the vision? Like, are they going to get the vision or not? Right? So by the time my clients jump on their first calls with me, they're like, hey, so this is where I'm at right now. I'm currently building out the membership. I want the membership to have 100 people. Here's what I'm doing for the next launch. I'm like, boom, boom, boom. God, let's go. All right, let's get into strategizing. Let's get into this work. Let's get into that. How are you mapping out the launch? What's your content look like? Let's do a deep dive into your content. Like, I get it. I'm there. I like, because they've heard me talk about it, there isn't a question mark. And when there are too many question marks that aren't getting filled, your people are gonna start to check out a little bit, right? They might really like you and they might really vibe with your energy and your brand. But if your content doesn't create this current level, next level awareness, they're gonna bounce, and they're gonna want to find that in either somebody else, or they're just going to be really confused on whether or not this is something that you offer. And then maybe they don't take any action at all, right? So we want to make it really clear that we understand where they're at. Like, hey, I get you. I see you. I was once you. And this is what we're going to build together. Like, I understand where you are, and I want to help you get to that next level, right? That's why I'm calling this current level and next level awareness. It's not just I see you, it's I see you and I see your big vision. So let's create it together. That's essentially what I do in my mastermind, is like, I see you, I see where you're at, and I know that you want to be making $150,000 a year. I see you, I know exactly where you're at, and I know you want to sell out your group offers. Let's go, right? So that is it. It's like, I see you right now, and you are literally about to enter your breakthrough year, and I cannot wait to get my hands on your business. Like, this is about to be insane. And that is how I feel when a dream client comes in and they're like, I'm ready, let's do it, I can't wait, right? So I want to be clear, like, this isn't necessarily problem awareness, because I find that for a lot of my clients, myself included, my clients don't necessarily have, not that they don't have problems, like they still are navigating challenges in their business, as we all are. But I find that the reason that my clients hire me is not because they're in some big, deep problem. And you likely understand this because your clients likely aren't in big problems either. So problem awareness marketing has maybe never resonated with you, and it hasn't really resonated with me either, because I don't believe that my best clients, for the most part, right? Like, I will have clients who are like, oh my gosh, Tiffany, I'm so ready to work with you. And also, this is the thing that's been going on in my business. I can't wait to have your eyes on it. Like, there are going to be challenges at every single level of business. However, I find that my best clients, when they hire me, when they invest in working with me, it is because they desire to go from good to great. Like there's all these things that are already doing really well. And yeah, there still might be some sticky points. There still might be some challenges. There are definitely things that they want coaching on, that they want support on. And that's exactly what I'm here for. And at the same time, they really like where they're at. Like they're not in survival mode. They're not deeply struggling. Like they're proactive. They know what to do. They're self-led. Yeah, there's some sticky points here and there that they'd love to have my eyes on, which is why they're hiring me as their mentor. But they're not like in the weeds. I have to pull them out. I've got to drag them by the ankles. I got to hold their hand. Like it isn't like that. My clients are extremely intuitive. They're extremely proactive. I see them as the best versions of themselves. And those are really the best clients that I love working with and that I attract into my world. My clients are not people that are severely struggling. And so if I were to speak down to them in that way, it would really turn them off and it wouldn't be a match. So what I speak to instead of the problem awareness, it's the current level and the next level. So I see them for where they're at right now. And for the most part, they love where they're at and they're also ready for their next level. Those are the people I love working with. Like they love where they're at, but they also don't want to stay there. Right? They love where they're at and they're also like, all right, I'm ready. Like next level, let's go. My clients love, just like me, my best clients love to be challenged and they love to reach higher and higher levels and they want to be the biggest version of themselves in this lifetime. So even if they hit like their biggest cash month ever, my clients typically are not like, okay, cool. I'm good. And that's a wrap. Like, no, they're like, oh my God, this was amazing. This is incredible. They're alchemizing it. They're like grounding into it. They're sharing the celebrations with the group. Like they're so excited and I'm celebrating the hell out of them. And then they're like, okay, I want to break through to my next level. Like that's the joy of entrepreneurship, is that there's no ceiling and you want to keep challenging yourself to be a bigger and bigger and bigger version of you, because that's how you grow. It's how your business grows. And that's really what sets us apart as entrepreneurs, because there's a lot of average people out there who are okay with not constantly raising the bar. They're okay with staying where they're at. They're okay with making the same amount of money every 2 weeks in a paycheck. But because we're entrepreneurs, and because we love this, like we live for the thrill of it, we're speaking to different types of people, and typically those best clients that you just love working with. Like you get so excited. Every time you guys have conversations, it's like recalibrating and quantum leaps, and they're collapsing time and you're just in awe of them and they're like in awe of their results. Like those are your best clients. You don't have to drag them to do anything. They're so proactive. They're so self-led. Like their leadership is on point. They're constantly working on themselves. They already have that. Like by the time you guys work together, they already have that drive within them, right? So that's really important, because when we're speaking to our best clients, then they get the best results. We have the best experience, and it makes a really big difference. So I want to give you some examples of what this looks like, okay? So the current level and next level awareness content is essentially highlighting where they're at. You can use storytelling. You can bring in your own past examples and experiences. You can also highlight maybe how your industry and society may be navigating this, right? My clients know I've talked a lot about this, and they don't necessarily want a cookie cutter strategy. Like I'm not really attracting clients that just want to be told how to get from point A to point B in an extremely linear, really masculine way. Like they don't want a plug and play formula. My clients want custom support. They want a custom fit approach that is designed specifically for them, right? And most of my clients, like they don't want to send cold DMs. They don't want to be running tons of ads right off the bat, right? Like they want to do it in their own way. And so I speak to that in my own story, in my own experiences. I'm someone who's never sent a cold DM. Like I trust organic marketing, and I also teach it. I teach attraction marketing, right? So that's alignment to me. And when I talk about this and when I'm explicit and clear about it, and obviously everyone who works with me knows that I'm very convicted in this because it's what all my clients do. It's what I do. And it works, right? It's something I'm deeply passionate about. And it's not the only way, but for the people who desire to learn from me, this is the way I do it. And so I have to be really clear about it because that's going to bring in my specific person. And that's what I want. And that's what I want for them. Something else I might say is, I know you've outgrown doing sales calls and you are ready to attract clients who pay high ticket via the DMs. So in this scenario, I am speaking to current situation, which is they're still doing sales calls, and I'm speaking to their next level, which is like, hey, you know, people can pay you high ticket in the DMs, right? Like we can work on that together. You want to do that? Let's go. Right? So the person reading that is like, oh my gosh, I really have been spending so much time doing sales calls back and forth, and they're working and they're converting, but how many more people would convert if I really double down on my DMs? Like what would happen? Okay, I'm going to work with Tiffany. Let's go. Let's do this. I'm ready. So one of the reasons this works really well is because I always see my clients as the biggest version of themselves. It's not pain point marketing, right? It's not from like, you shouldn't be doing sales calls because blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't even know what you would say. Like my brain can't even come up with something, but it's not that, right? I don't desire to speak to my people in that way. It's kind of like a nudge. It's kind of like, hey, you don't need to be doing that. You're ready to attract clients who pay you via the DMs. Like they're ready to do that right now. And if you're serious about that, we can work together. And I know that your people want to pay high ticket and they don't even need to be jumping on these sales calls with you. Like if you want to get coached on that and you want to really make that happen in your business, let's talk. Like, let's do it. So that's the energy I'm in. I'm so convicted in it. I'm seeing them as the biggest version of themselves. I'm not guilting them. I'm not shaming them. I'm not creating all these emotions. I'm literally just pointing out like, this is what I see. I see you. I see where you're at right now. And I might even bring in a story where I did sales calls for a long period of time. And then after a while I shifted and now I don't do sales calls at all. My highest ticket clients pay me through the DMs or they submit an application. Like that's what they do. And they don't need an hour-long conversation. We don't need to go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth in the DMs. Like they're ready to move. And one of the ways that we do this is through our content and then closing clients in the DMs. I can teach you how to do that. I've been doing it for years. So that is the energy going into this conversation. I want to share a quick story. When I first invested in my very first mastermind, it was $20,000 paid in full. That was the most money I had ever spent on literally anything, but definitely the biggest investment for myself and into my business. And I had not had a conversation with this coach before I paid her. We didn't talk back and forth in the messages. She did not offer sales calls, so that wasn't an option. And I also didn't need it. I didn't reach out. I didn't ask any questions. I was essentially all in. I was a little scared, and I think that's 100% normal and part of the process. I was a little scared, but in my heart and in my body, I just knew that this was for me. I just knew it. And one of the ways that got me there was she created that type of content that I'm teaching, is that current level and next level content. I knew that she understood where I was at in my business. At the time, I think I had just made my first multi-six figures total in my business. I was really ready to expand and scale through my groups. I really wanted to become more well-known for what I was doing. I think I was also at that point shifting from being a social media coach into business coach. And I was navigating some lower months because I had just shifted to being a business coach and I was essentially starting like a new business with new clients. And so that's something that I really wanted to work on and I wanted to get support on. So in the way she spoke, every single time I saw her content, every single time I think she was mainly like podcasting at the time, but I'm sure she did like Instagram posts as well. So when I would tune into her podcasts, I would just feel so seen. And every time I consumed content from her, whether it was a carousel post or it was another podcast training or episode, or maybe it was a live stream, I just felt, and this was a pretty short period of time. I don't think I was even following or consuming her content for a long period of time, but I was intrigued enough in a short amount of time. I felt seen, and I felt like if I were to jump on a coaching call with her inside this mastermind, she would be able to guide me, see me as the biggest version of myself. And I like the processes. I like her experience. I like the way that she's approaching her business. I like it. I agree with, I'm aligned to it. I feel such a big yes. So that is what really got me to getting to the point where I'm like, I want to drop $20,000 and be inside this mastermind. And I did. And I resigned. And it really changed everything for me because I was willing to take full responsibility, and I was ready. I was ready for it. I was excited for it. I was ready for it. I took full responsibility and I just knew in my gut, and I checked in again and again. I knew that this was the best move for me. And it really started with the way that I felt reading her content. I felt so seen. I felt like, oh my goodness, I was like, oh, this person really gets me. Like this person really understands what I'm going through. And there are multiple layers where I felt really seen. And that was really important to me. So the next thing I want to guide you through here is why this works. Because it's not about having the perfect thing to say. It's not about the perfect caption. It's not about like using the perfect words, right? It is really the energetics of, I see you. I got you. I've been there and I can guide you. Like we can do this together. It's almost this sense of like reassuring validation, right? And we're not leaders that need to rely on external validation. But I do think that when you're hiring someone, there's a level of validating that's like, oh, this person gets to be my mentor because they see me so clearly. Like they really get me. I feel seen. I feel understood. And not only do I feel understood, I feel like they can help guide me to my next level, to where I want to go. And that's really important because there are some people who make their clients feel really seen. And it's like they can see their current experience. But does the client feel like you can guide them into their next level in the way that they want to do it? So like the example I gave earlier, if someone doesn't want to scale their business to multi 6 figures, 7 figures, and they don't want to do it through group coaching, they don't want to do it through retreats, they want to do it in like a completely different way, then I wouldn't be the person for them. Right? I typically work with online entrepreneurs that scale through their group programs, whether that is a mastermind, a group coaching program, a membership, a course, maybe doing in-person work like retreats, right? VIP days, done for you services. Like these are typically the people that I work with who have online services, virtual services as an online entrepreneur, an online CEO. So if someone wants to get to 7 figures, but they don't want to do it in that way, then I may not be the best person for them, right? But for someone who wants to get to multi 6 figures, they want to get to 7 figures, and they want to do it through high ticket coaching, tiered experiences, having a low and mid offer, being able to create content online that converts for their most aligned clients, that's the person I'm speaking to. And that's the person that I most want to serve. And so whenever I speak to that person. And when I create content, it is that next level, current level content where someone can tune in experience my frequency, my brand, my content, and also feel that level of seenness of like, I am seen here, I am held here. This person has been able to create these transformations for others, and I am ready to be one of those transformations as well. And I believe this is what makes our clients sprint into our offers, is when they can feel this within us, when they can feel it and sense it, they're ready to move. They will find the money and invest the money because this is exactly what they desire. And when it's speaking to them and you're using their own words, they feel your conviction and they see that you've got the solution, that your brain, your wisdom, your genius, your thought leadership is going to be applied into their life, their business, their health, whatever it is that you serve them on. That's an absolute no-brainer. They're not looking for anything else after that. They are sold. So this is the kind of content that influences clients to move now, not later. This is what makes them sprint into your content or through your content into your offers again and again and again. So if you loved this and want a deeper dive on all the other kinds of content, because this is just one type of content that I find is extremely powerful. If you want to go deeper, I am covering in module 3 the multiple different types of content that really gets your clients to move. This is just one aspect of it. We've covered codes, identity, energetics. Content and Cash Codes is really my program that covers everything from identity, energetics, coding into practical, specific ways to write content to sell to your people. So essentially, it is everything you need to know to create content to sell your offers to your followers, your lurkers, the people who are watching you online that are ready to buy from you, your best clients. This is what is going to turn them from another viewer into a paid client who's inside your program and on your next coaching call. So this is really what it takes. We started off with the codes and teaching the future frequency, creating your future with your imagination, with your energy. We're talking about conviction and holding your energy as you're selling. And then we're going to go into your specific codes, the equations, creating the kind of money that is exponential, why you do it, not just how you're doing it. And we're also getting into the practical, the different types of content that really make your clients move, as well as how you need to see them and yourself in order for clients to feel that level of conviction in order to move. We're going to be talking about the client filters, the way in which you speak to your clients, holding your own power, and so much more. This is my program that really teaches you to convert your content into cash. When done correctly, aka in alignment to you, your content online, your content alone can convert into cash. And this can happen while you're sleeping, before you wake up, during the day. When your content is on point, clients come running through the door. And it also is less heavy lifting. When you know how to write really on point content that speaks to your best clients, you don't have to go on sales calls. You don't have to do tons and tons and tons of work. You don't have to even be posting every single day necessarily. You can create a system that works very well for you, where your best clients read your content and they convert into your offers and your programs. That's exactly what we're teaching and what we're doing here inside Content and Cash Codes. It's still being taught live. You will get access to all of the replays as well as the future live calls that we're doing. You will get lifetime access to this program. And it truly is such an incredible program that I'm really excited for you to get access to. So you can jump in and join us inside Content and Cash Codes. Right now, if you jump in, it's at $555 and it will rise to $777, which is the final price. So it will rise to $777 at the end of this week. So if you want to jump in, you'll still get it for $555, or you can do a payment plan of $233 for 2 months. So that's another option for you there. All right. I will catch you on the next episode. If you have any questions about Content and Cash Codes, anything else, you can send me a DM on Instagram at tiffanychong.co. Other than that, thank you for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Bye.